Hey everybody, Bobby Klink from Your Online Genius here. Um, uh, again, we are here to discuss intellectual property issues that affect online entrepreneurs. I am an online entrepreneur and an intellectual property lawyer, and what I do is I help online entrepreneurs put together a plan and put together the documentation that they need to protect their online platforms, their businesses effectively. So that's what I do. I have a law firm, Klink LLC, where people pay me by the hour to do this, but that can get pretty pricey. And so Your Online Genius is all about providing resources for you to do the work yourself so that you don't have to pay me or pay anyone else by the hour to create the plan and create the documentation you need to protect your online genius. So that's what this program's about. That's what this business is all about. Today, we are going to be talking about trademarks. Now, trademarks are an issue that really should be near and dear to every single online entrepreneur, really every entrepreneur, because they're all about branding. So everybody needs to be thinking about trademarks because everybody has a brand. And so you need to be thinking about these issues so that you understand them, both how you can protect your brand, but also where you might be causing some problems for yourself if you're not careful. So that's why trademarks are important. That's why I thought, hey, this is an important one we need to cover right up front. And so that's why we're going to be doing it in this lesson today. Today, we're going to talk just basics, again, like I discussed in yesterday's live about Facebook. The goal isn't to make you an expert. The goal is to help you be able to spot issues and understand issues so that you know what you need to be doing, or at least know, hey, I need to look into this. I need to do some research. I need to figure these things out. So that's the goal. With today's live, to give you that kind of information about trademarks. It's going to be pretty high level, but it's going to give you some very actionable information that will help you understand and help you know if you need to take action, and if so, what kind of action you need to take. So first of all, first question, what is a trademark? A trademark, their trademark and service mark are similar concepts, and we'll treat them together, but a trademark is any word, picture, anything of that sort that designates the source of a good or service. And here the word source means what company or what person provided that good or service. That's the idea here. I like to give some examples to really help people understand what is a trademark and what can be protected by trademark, because it's pretty broad. So let's use the company Nike as an example. The word Nike itself is the brand. So that is the brand name, and that's a protected trademark. Then what is another form of trademark? So, hey, whoever just joined, hey, Blaine, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Beyond your brand name is your brand image. So again, this is a picture, whatever you would call your logo. In the case of Nike, it's the swoosh. In the case of Your Online Genius, it's that little guy with that looks kind of like an owl that's got blue glasses on. So that's protectable by trademark. Finally, any slogan that you use in commerce is protected. So let's go back to Nike. Just do it. That is a protected trademark that they have the right to use exclusively. So again, that's the three things that can be covered generally. You have your name, your logo, and your slogan. Those are all protectable as trademark. So then let's talk about the next question. How do you get trademark protection? Now, you get trademark protection in two different ways. You can get it through common law, and that's what us lawyers call something if it just kind of comes up without you having to do something. So once you start using anything, a brand name, a slogan in commerce, you get protection. And what is using it in commerce? Basically, it's a pretty broad concept. If you're putting it out there to the world, you're going to get protection for that within your area of business. I mean, you're not going to get protection for everything. If I have a shoe company and I'm just selling shoes, I get protection in the shoe industry, but not necessarily in online coaching, which is a very different thing. But so that's the common law concept. And the importance of that is it means that everyone has protection, and everyone has protection the minute they start using their slogan or their brand or their name. So that has implications both because it means you get protection right away, but it also means other people got protection if they were using it before you. So you need to keep that in mind, to be mindful of that when you were thinking about a trademark and trademark protection. The second way you can get protection is by registering a trademark. And there are state registries, but most people get protection by registering it with the federal authority, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And that is a process you go through. You file a registration or an application to register it. You designate what it is. Is it a name? Is it a logo, etc.? And you describe it or put the name, and then you set it within the proper area where you'll be practicing it. So again, in the shoe industry or in the online coaching industry, and you then go through the process. You file this. It will be reviewed by an examiner who decides whether it's entitled to protection. They'll do a search to see if they come up with anyone using it before you. And if they don't, they'll allow it. Then it will go through the process of it gets published somewhere so that people can challenge it. If people say, hey, no, I'm using that already, you can do that process. So that's the process of filing and registering a trademark. You get more protection if it's registered. You get nationwide protection. So there are values to doing that. Now, there's a cost involved, of course. You're going to have to pay a lawyer. I would never suggest you pay me. That would be a waste of your money. I charge way too much per hour to hire me. But there are services out there who will charge you $100 or $150 in addition to whatever the filing fees are to file a trademark. So if it's your brand, it's probably valuable enough and important enough. Now, another issue that we need to talk about, and this is actually where a lot of online entrepreneurs make the biggest mistake on this. Forget whether you're going to actually file or get trademark protection for yourself. One of the biggest mistakes I see is online entrepreneurs don't make sure that someone else doesn't already have protection for the name they want to use. So that is a huge issue, and it can cause huge problems for you in the long run. If you don't have protection, if someone else is already using the name before you use it, they have the rights to it. And the problem is they're not going to hear about you when you first start. They're going to hear about you once you get successful and once you start making money. And then all of a sudden they may come to you and say, hey, you got to change your name. You're using our trademark name. You can't do it. And at that point, quite honestly, there's not much I can do or anybody else can do for you. You're going to have to rebrand. You're going to have to change all of your prior content. If you can't get their trademarked information out, you may have to stop using it. So it creates all kinds of problems for you. So that's what I want you to get is, in a sense, the key takeaway from today's lesson is trademarks are hugely valuable, but they can also be used against you. So you need to make sure that you take the time to do a trademark search. Again, you can do it yourself. There's various ways you can do it by searching through registries, but also searching to make sure no one's already using the name. There are services that can do it. So LegalZoom, for example, has a service where they'll search registries and common law for, I think it's $299. I always recommend to people you should do a search yourself first. Make sure that there's not a clear problem, because if there's a clear problem, why pay $300? But so that's what you need to be thinking in terms of trademark. It is an issue that can haunt you if you don't take the time to run a search at the beginning. So, that's it for today. I'm not going to go into much more depth. If you like what you hear on this, if you're interested in learning more, I have a free course that is available right now where I discuss 5 mistakes that online entrepreneurs make that can be devastating to their business. It's the kinds of things that can sink your business, either because you actually don't own what you think you own or someone's going to sue you. And you can get access to that course at mistakes.youronlinegenius.com. Again, mistakes.youronlinegenius.com. You go there, enter your information, you'll get the course lessons delivered to you. You'll also get access to a member page where you'll always have access to the courses. So that is my action item for today. Make sure you're learning about intellectual property and the things you need to be thinking about. And if you want to learn more, go to mistakes.youronlinegenius.com. So that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow when we will be talking about trade secrets, which is the third area of intellectual property that we're going to cover. And you'll get some very actionable information there as well. That's all for today. See you tomorrow.